you guys, I want to speak on going in silence. Sometimes people just kind of walk away from everything, just go quiet, go in silent. And I recently had to do that. Maybe not quite a year ago, maybe like 9 months ago. Um, sometimes you find yourself giving others way more than you're giving yourself. And I am the type of person that when I love hard. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. It can be a family member or a friend or an ex. It doesn't matter. I have this heart to just love big or not love at all. And I just really had to go away and just kind of pour into myself. You know, I just started to eat better, which led to me losing weight. I just started to, just try to take better care of myself, whether it's my skin, my body, sometimes you have to pull away from everything and everyone else and just give it to yourself. And when you do that, it's not really being selfish when you are the person that's always giving. Sometimes it's the giver that comes up short, that, give it all away. And I found myself doing that. I find myself giving to people that just didn't appreciate it, didn't almost rejected it, or just pretty much didn't appreciate it. And when you operate like that and you're not paying attention to how you're giving to others and how others are receiving, you can set yourself up for disaster. So it kind of led me to just pull back, pull away, and just go into, hermit mode and just, give to myself. Sometimes you can give to the wrong people to the point that you are just exhausted. And I found myself that way. I was drained. And I remember one day, it was last September 2025. I remember calling my mother, and I just could not shake this feeling that I was having. And I was trying to explain it to her to the best of my ability. I said, I don't know what this is I'm feeling, but I don't feel good on the inside. I just feel so sad. And, that's all I could say. I said, I just feel sad. And I remember I had this pop-up that I was doing for my business, Carlita Cosmetics. And I remember I should have been really happy about this and excited about it. And I just remember not even wanting to deal with it. I mean, the show had to go on, so I, went about my day and did what I had to do and put on a brave face and, went and I was the professional that I knew I needed to be and had to be for myself and my business. But at the same time, I was very sad on the inside. And I remember when I went to this pop-up, I took a friend along with me. And this friend, she really changed my day because she's a very spiritual person, and I felt like she was someone I could slightly open up to and be a little bit of, I could be a little vulnerable with her, and I didn't feel like she would judge me, and she was absolutely that. She, before this particular event, she prayed with me and, pretty much told me everything is going to be okay. And, I got the pep talk from her that I needed to get through, that day. And I just remember going back to the night before with my mother. I just remember telling my mother, I just feel sad. I cannot shake this. I feel sad. And yes, I was going through a lot with someone that had recently came back into my life. And, I thought that was going really good. And then all of a sudden it just kind of went, left. And then on top of that, life was happening. Just things in my life was happening. And it just all collided that day. And, like a child, I couldn't do anything but call my mother and call on my mother. And, she said the things that a parent would say to their adult child. And, she helped me get through that moment. And I got through it. But, for anyone that is just going through something today and you're struggling, my advice to you, I know some people don't even believe in God or, whoever you believe in. I hope you have something solid in your life that you can turn to. For me, it's God. It's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm not this, Christian junkie, someone that just go around speaking God all day, but God is so special. And without God, I'm nothing. I was at my lowest less than a year ago. And I never felt like giving up, I never felt like, doing anything crazy to myself was an option. But I was really, really sad. And I just felt like it was a very hard time in my life. And I'm like, God, how do I get through this? And at times you think God isn't even listening, but God is. And God does allow us to go through moments in our life that's going to make us feel alone, as if we don't even have Him, but He's there. And for me, I never lost focus of that. I prayed to God, daily. I prayed to God throughout the day, just for strength and, just for, I just need that in my life. That is what keeps me going, is just my relationship with the Lord. So I advise you to carve out time for God, build that one-on-one relationship with Him. You don't have to, know everything about Christ to get started. Just know and believe Christ is there. If you're going through hard times right now in your life, just know that there is a higher source there that is always there to listen. There's billions of people in the world, but God has the ability to be there for each and every one of us individually. We have His undivided attention, and that is just a great source to have in your life. If you need me to pray for you, just put up some prayer emojis in the comment section, and I promise you I will pray for you. And I hope and pray that your day is going well, and if it isn't, carve out time for your Lord and Savior Jesus